The F-2 is one of the key assets of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, shortly JASDF. Its development process caused lots of struggles, even international crises. At first glance, this aircraft may be seen as an F-16 on steroids, but in detail, it is quite a different fighter. As the weapon detective, we are investigating the F-2, aka Viper Zero. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel before we start, and give us a thumbs up if you like our video. To be notified of our new video, please click the bell button. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. The unofficial nickname of the F-2, Viper Zero, refers to the F-16 semi-official nickname of Viper and the Japanese legendary Second World War fighter Mitsubishi A6M0. The only user of the aircraft, the JASDF, defines it as a 4.5 generation fighter. This is a true definition to a certain extent. Before we begin our analysis, we should know the support fighter concept of the JASDF developed in 1977 to better understand the F-2. The mission of a support fighter was to perform anti-ship attacks, ground attacks, close air support, as well as dealing with air threats. Different from a multi-role fighter, its air-to-air combat capability was secondary. At first, the JASDF used the F-86Fs as the support fighters. They were replaced by the Mitsubishi F-1s in a short time. But soon after the introduction of the F-1 in 1978, Japan began a study on the next support fighter. The F-1 had a 3,500-hour lifespan, so the aircraft of the first F-1 squadron would have to be replaced before 1990. In 1982, Japan approved the development of the next support fighter. The new aircraft would have a fly-by-wire flight control system, all-weather operation capability, and advanced electronic warfare suite. Also, the JASDF demanded enhanced air-to-air combat capability. The new aircraft would carry 4 anti-ship missiles as well as air-to-air missiles, and it could reach over 830 km combat radius. After a study in 1985, it was seen that the domestic development of the aircraft is possible except for the engine. Immediately after, Japanese aircraft companies Mitsubishi and Kawasaki began to work on their indigenous programs. Mitsubishi had the confidence. It had already developed the T-2 CCV research aircraft and had a domestic fly-by-wire flight control system. So, Mitsubishi began to work on the JF210. Besides, Kawasaki designed an aircraft which had a similar silhouette to the FA-18 Hornet. However, the JASDF was unsure as to the level of air-to-air combat capability of the next support fighter. The specification constantly changed. This caused confusion and extra costs for the design process. In the end, Japan decided that the research and development cost of a domestic support fighter would be enormous. Direct procurement from abroad was not possible because no available fighter at that time could answer the JASDF's requirements. So, Japan decided that a joint development program would be economically more feasible. In 1986, the US General Dynamics and McDonnell Douglas companies offered capacity-enhancing joint development based on the F-16 and FA-18 respectively. The Europeans could only offer a capacity-enhancing proposal based on the Tornado. Their level of industrial cooperation and technology transfer offers were not enough for the Japanese. So, in 1987, the Tornado was removed from the list. But now, McDonnell Douglas also proposed a new aircraft based on the F-15, which was already used by the JASDF. After detailed examinations, Japan chose the F-16 as the base aircraft. At that time, General Dynamics was already working on F-16 Agile Falcon as a low-cost alternative for the Advanced Tactical Fighter program. This enhanced F-16 variant, which was not chosen by the US Air Force, was the most suitable solution as the base aircraft for the next support fighter. The initial problems were left behind, but the new ones were just beginning. Since the early 1980s, the Reagan administration had adopted a policy to increase the military capabilities of the Western Bloc. So, the US Department of Defense was supporting Japan's new combat aircraft program, and it was open to cooperation and mutual technology transfer. But the US Commerce Department had problematic relations with Japan. First of all, for a long time, the trade balance between the two countries had turned against the USA. The Commerce Department preferred a policy of forcing Japan to purchase US weapon systems directly. Also, the technology transfer may turn the Japanese aviation companies into competitors against the USA companies. Besides, Japan had a bad reputation for giving critical industrial secrets to the USSR. Still, in 1988, the USA and Japan agreed to the Joint Development Program, but the debates on details continued for a year. In 1989, the US Congress approved the deal with some limitations. The USA would constrain the provision of F-16 source code, the work shares of the US companies would be maximized at the production stage, and Japan would also provide some critical technology transfer to the USA. Japan and the USA have shared the manufacturing of the F-2 with a ratio of 60:40. The main contractor in Japan is Mitsubishi. Many other Japanese companies, such as Kawasaki and Fuji, are subcontractors. IHI produces the engine under license. The main US partner of the program was General Dynamics. This company sold its aircraft production facilities in Fort Worth to Lockheed Martin in 1993. So, since then, Lockheed Martin has become the main US partner of the program, and it produced all of the rear fuselage and wing leading edge flaps and 8 of the 10 left-hand wing boxes. Also, some other US companies, such as Honeywell, are working as subcontractors. The F-2 made its maiden flight on October 7, 1995. During the test flight, some microscopic scale cracks occurred in the main wing structure, besides other minor problems, which caused delays. After these problems were fixed, the F-2 was introduced to the JASDF service in 2000. Initially, Japan had planned to acquire 141 F-2s, but due to high unit costs, this number was reduced to 94 later. The aircraft has similar lines to the F-16, but they have 95% drawing changes in details. The fuselage of the F-2 is 0.5 meters longer than the Block 40 variant F-16s. Because its wings are 25% bigger, the F-2 can carry more and heavier ordnance on its underwing pylons. This feature also improves turning capability. Mitsubishi redesigned the vertical stabilizer to improve flight performance and operate anti-ship missiles. Also, the air intake was redesigned due to the larger nose radome, which hosts locally developed radar. The JAPG-1 makes the F-2 the first production combat aircraft with an active electronically scanned array radar. This radar gives the aircraft superb anti-ship, ground attack, and interception capabilities. The wings, horizontal tail, fin, rudder, and landing gear doors are made of carbon fiber reinforced composite material. The rear fuselage and tail unit are titanium. The nose, wing leading edges, and engine intakes are made of Mitsubishi's rayon radar absorbent material to improve stealth. Unlike the two-piece cockpit canopy of the F-16, the F-2 has a three-piece cockpit canopy, which is more durable against bird strikes. This feature makes the aircraft more suitable for low-altitude ground and maritime strike missions. Different from the US Air Force F-16s, the F-2 has a brake chute. Mitsubishi developed a domestic digital fly-by-wire flight control system as early as 1983 and tested it on a modified T-2. But the F-2 uses a different one, jointly developed by Japan Aviation Electric and Honeywell. There is also a single analog backup flight control system on the aircraft for yaw and roll controls. The B variant of the F-2 is used for conversion and advanced combat training. It is similar to the A model, except that the onboard electronic equipment and fuel capacity have been reduced to make room for the rear seat. In 2004, Lockheed Martin unveiled the F-2 Super Kai variant, but the JASDF was not interested in this proposed model, which has many improvements such as conformal fuel tanks, Link 16 capabilities, and helmet-mounted display. The F-2A has a length of 15.5 meters, a wingspan of 11.1 meters, and a height of 5 meters. Its wing area is 34.84 square meters. The aircraft's empty weight is about 9,830 kilograms, while its maximum takeoff weight is 22,100 kilograms. One 131 kilonewton General Electric F-110 IHI 129 afterburning turbofan engine provides a top speed of Mach 1.73. It can climb an altitude of nearly 18,000 meters, in other words 15,000 feet. The aircraft can reach a range of 4,000 kilometers. The F-2's combat radius is over 830 kilometers with 4 anti-ship missiles and 2 air-to-air missiles. The aircraft has one 20mm 6-barrel JM61A1 gun and 13 hardpoints with a capacity of 8 tons of ordnance. The F-2 can carry the AAM-3, AAM-4, AAM-5, AIM-9 Sidewinder, AIM-7 Sparrow air-to-air missiles, ASM-1, ASM-2 anti-ship missiles, as well as different types of bombs and rocket pods. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami damaged 18 F-2Bs in the region. Japan has returned 13 of them back into service. The rest was damaged beyond repair. Although its main mission definition is anti-ship attacks, the F-2 has hit the headlines with its interception scrambles. Let's look at some major ones. On February 7, 2013, 4 Viper Zeros scrambled to intercept 2 Russian Su-27s, which Japan claims violated the Japanese airspace. We should note that Moscow claims that these flankers were flying near the disputed Kuril Islands, not over the Japanese airspace. A few months later, this time the F-2 scrambled to intercept 2 Tu-142s which entered Japanese airspace near the major southern island of Kyushu. On July 23, 2019, together with 2 Russian Tu-95MS, 2 Chinese H-6Ks flew over the Japan Sea. So, together with F-15Js, the F-2s scrambled to monitor and intercept them. As we mentioned before, the JASDF defines the F-2 as a 4.5 generation fighter. Yes, its capabilities are superior to a 4th generation one. But the F-2 is missing some features of the Rafale and Eurofighter Typhoon. First of all, the Viper Zero does not have the Super Cruise capability. The F-2 is a swing roll fighter. During the anti-ship or ground attack mission, it can switch to the interception mission if necessary. But the aircraft cannot launch standoff air-to-ground or anti-radiation missiles. So its ground attack capability is limited and it cannot perform suppression of enemy air defenses mission. Also, the F-2 does not carry reconnaissance pods. So it is far behind its European counterparts in terms of operational flexibility. Besides, the F-2 does not have the capability of Link 16, so its network-centered warfare capability is low. The Viper Zero's pilots cannot use helmet-mounted displays. However, now Japan is working on eliminating these shortcomings. Soon, the F-2 will have Link 16 capability and helmet-mounted displays. In 2015, some Viper Zeros were fitted with JAAQ-2 forward-looking infrared and AN-AAQ-33 sniper targeting pods. So, these aircraft are compatible with the JDAM guided bombs. Due to the limitations of the Japanese constitution, the F-2s cannot carry standoff air-to-ground missiles. By able to carry 4 anti-ship missiles at once, the F-2 is the fighter-sized combat aircraft which has the highest anti-surface warfare capability. Soon, the Viper Zero will be equipped with the advanced ASM-3A anti-ship missiles. This missile, which has a maximum speed of Mach 5, a range of over 400 kilometers, and advanced sensors, will undoubtedly make the F-2 one of the most dangerous ship hunter fighters. Besides, the JAPG-1 of the aircraft is now upgrading to JAPG-2 standards, which will give the F-2 the ability to launch AAM-4B air-to-air missiles. On paper, the AAM-4B, which has a range of 120 kilometers and active electronically scanned array radar, will provide the aircraft with better interception capabilities than the FA-18EF. Perhaps in one of the other parallel universes, Japan decided to execute an indigenous program and we would see this picture when we talk about the F-2. But this is not the case. Today, Japan is working on a new fighter to replace the F-2. Maybe this time, we will see the next fully domestic Zero in the sky. In 2015, the JASDF abandoned the use of the term support fighter. Since then, it has defined the F-2 as a multi-role fighter. These aircraft are still the backbone of the anti-ship attack capability of the JASDF. They have also proved themselves as valuable interceptors. By current upgrading efforts, the Viper Zero will keep its combat capability and continue to protect the Japanese national interest in the region. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you liked our video. To be notified of our new videos, please click the bell button. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel.